Dr. Bundrick. Okay, my friend. So you're 27 years old. And when did your story start?
It started, I want to say, in 2021.
What happened?
I was intimate with my partner, and I had got a UTI right after, and it seems like ever since that one, like things just have not been the same.
What month in 2021 about was that?
I want to say June or July.
Okay. And so you had intercourse,
Mm-hmm.
and afterwards you had pain. Develop? Pain?
It was like that burning sensation.
When you urinate or kind of burned all the time?
When I urinate.
Mm-hmm.
There was like a smell to it.
Okay.
It wasn't my first UTI, so I knew what it was. I had went to the doctor. They gave me antibiotics for it.
What did they give you?
Macrobid,
For how long?
5 days.
Macrobid times 5 days.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened next?
I felt fine after I finished the medicine, but I did notice maybe a couple of months later,
Did it go completely away?
I think it felt like it did at first,
Yeah.
until sometimes I get really busy at work. I work with kids, so
Yeah.
I can't use the bathroom right away all the time. And then I
Mhm.
would notice that if I would hold it for too long, it seemed like, okay, that doesn't feel right. I would get pain in my pelvis.
Mm-hmm.
And then I wasn't intimate for a while. I wasn't with that partner anymore. I had ended up quitting my job, so I didn't have health insurance. I didn't know what to do when I was having those pains. I kind of just ignored it. And then I think it was around February of 2022, I had another partner and I was intimate again. And even, I know for myself, I have to pee right after all the
Mhm.
time. But it seemed like no matter if I used the bathroom right after, I was still getting a UTI.
Mm-hmm.
I would finish, they would give me the same thing, so Macrobid for 5 days. And I would have to call because it still felt like it was there.
Did it get better, but it just didn't go all the way away?
Yes. So then my doctor would give me stronger antibiotics. I think she gave me, it starts with a C.
Cipro, cephalexin, Ceftonir.
I don't remember.
Okay.
But that's what she gave me, and then it's
Did it help?
It did help, and it went away. But then as soon as I was intimate again, it was the same thing.
Okay.
So after that, my doctor said, well, I was having too many UTIs, so she referred me to the urologist.
Mm-hmm.
I went to we talked on the phone, and he told me that he could just give me antibiotics, I think he called them post-coital antibiotics. I didn't want to take antibiotics every time because I was like, I don't know, I'm not sure how I feel about that, because I feel like there was a deeper problem versus he said this is very common in women, this is just what happens.
Mm-hmm.
And for
You
me,
did a telemedicine.
yes.
Okay.
And then I saw him in person afterwards because he offered me to do a cystoscopy.
Yeah.
And I said I would rather just be on the safe side. I'll just do it.
The scope?
Yes.
Okay.
So I went in to do that. Everything was fine. He said there was no inflammation. Everything was good. He told me that I should try taking D-Manos.
Mm-hmm.
And then again, if I would like, I can have the antibiotics. Well, he said my doctor would follow up with me, but she never did. I ended up finding these gummies. They're cranberry, vitamin C, and D-Manos. Anytime I take those right after intercourse, I don't feel anything. But I notice when I take them, I feel like any little thing can trigger a UTI at the same time. So for example, one day I didn't use the bathroom right away. I was at a baseball game for my school that I worked at, and I guess I just held it too long. I ended up getting a UTI. So I was like, okay, and then even just recently, again, I wore jeans and they kept riding up and they felt a little bit uncomfortable, and that triggered a UTI as well. So it seems like that helps, but it's still not helping 100%.
Yeah.
It helps for the intercourse, but not for everything else. And then in between that time too, I would go to my doctor, and I would tell her something just doesn't feel right. I feel like something is wrong. So she would have me do a bunch of labs, and I would see in the results, it said I had mucus in my urine, blood in my urine, white blood cells, all this stuff. And she said, it's normal, it's fine. I think this is where I started getting emotional. I also went to my gynecologist, and she just told me it was in my head.
Got the old in your head story, huh?
Mm-hmm. So I felt like I'm already a shy person, and I was trying to advocate for myself, and she just didn't listen to me. But I'm I know my body. I know something's not right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. When was that?
That was 2022. I think that was around like May or June.
Okay. So basically, you've been dealing with it for about a year, kind of off and on,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's in your head,
Mm-hmm.
right? Okay. And so, when were you treated most recently?
That was on Monday.
And you took,
Macrobid.
so you're on Macrobid now?
Yes.
Do you feel any better now than you did Monday?
Yes, I do feel better than I did on Monday.
Okay. All right. What symptoms have you been having recently?
Burning, a very strong burning pain.
When you urinate or all the time?
When I urinate, like as soon as I feel like I need to use the bathroom, there's a burning sensation, and then when I would use the bathroom, it would be a lingering burning pain it would take a while for that to go away. But that was my only symptom.
You don't have frequency or urgency?
No, there was frequency.
What about now?
Right now, it's not as bad, but I do notice still if I hold it for just a little bit too long, there's a slight burning there.
Yeah. So you have a little bit of urgency. Stop, I gotta go pee.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Are you getting up at night to urinate?
I was at the beginning of the UTI.
But not now?
No.
Okay. And when you go urinate now, does it come out free or does it seem slow?
Both. I know on Monday it was not that much that was coming out, and even before the antibiotics when I was doing okay, whenever I use the bathroom, I have to I really have to push to use the bathroom, unless if I drink a whole lot of water, but it still takes a minute just for it to come out.
You feel like you don't empty?
Yeah.
Are you having intercourse now?
Yes.
Does it hurt?
No.
It's no pain during
No
intercourse.
pain.
Do you have symptoms afterwards?
As long as I was taking the gummy, I wouldn't have any symptoms.
Okay. All right. So you're primarily having trouble with your urethra, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you notice any discomfort in your lower abdomen?
No.
It's all urethral, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So how many courses of 5 days of Macrobid do you think you've had in the past couple of years?
A lot. Probably around 10.
So 10 courses Macrobid for 5 days. And you would think that at some point people would understand that that's just not gonna solve your problem, right? Yeah, I know. Okay. Are you allergic to anything?
Penicillin.
Okay. Have you had any other antibiotic during all this time besides the Macrobid?
Yes, the ones that my doctor would give me that were a little bit stronger. I just don't remember the name. I can look it up for you.
That's cool. Yeah, do that. How did you tolerate it?
I did really well with it. The only one I did, my gynecologist did test me for ureaplasma, and
Yes.
she gave me
Doxycycline?
I didn't do very well with that one. It gave me a lot of swelling in my feet
Mm-hmm.
and really bad headaches.
Okay. But you tolerate the Macrobid well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, when was the last 5-day course of Macrobid you had before the one on Monday?
October.
So you've been several months now with no problems or just living with it?
More so living with it. The gummy basically just made my life more tolerable, but I felt like, do I have to take this for the rest of my life to feel normal?
Yeah. Okay. Do you have a history in your family of trouble with their bladder that you know of?
No, I asked and nobody else that I know of had the problem.
Do you, when was your last menstrual period?
Right now.
Oh, okay. That makes perfect sense because there's blood in your urine today. All right. So you're on oral contraceptives?
Yes.
Okay. Cool. Where do you live?
In Fresno, California.
Oh, really? Awesome. How's your weather?
We're actually getting a lot of rain right now, so
Yeah.
it's very abnormal for us.
Is it?
Yeah, it's usually by now, with it being March, yeah, it'd be starting to get kind of warm right now. Probably
Warming
more
up?
so like 80s, 90s.
Yeah. You grew up there? Okay. Okay. So do you have any questions for me?
How can you help me?
Well, you have a chronic infection.
Mm-hmm.
You have a chronic infection in your bladder and in your urethra, and you know you've had it now for almost a couple of years. So it's going to take it's happy. It's got a home, and it's not going to be excited about leaving, as you can tell. It just wants to keep coming back, right?
Mm-hmm.
See, these are not recurrent infections. This is a persistent infection that intermittently exacerbates. And intercourse is the most common thing that causes that exacerbation. So there's bacteria living in the base of the bladder, and that's right where the penis is hitting. And so it's stirring up bacteria, releasing the bacteria from the lining in the bladder, and just they get exposed into the urine, and they just create a new infection. But you never get antibiotics long enough to get rid of it, so it just keeps coming back. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. What else?
I was trying to find the
Yeah, go find the antibiotic. Are you happy how you tolerate the macrobid?
Yeah, I would say yeah. Sometimes it does make my stomach a little bit more sensitive, but
Uh-huh.
it's not anything that's like, it's driving
Yeah.
me nuts.
All right. Okay. Sounds good.